What is computing? Computing is the process of utilizing computer technology to complete a task. The computing may involve computing hardware or software but must involve some form of a computer system. Different type of computer paradigm. There are so many computer paradigm: distributed computing, parallel computing, cluster computing, grid computing, utility computing, edge computing, fog computing, cloud computing. Distributed computing. Distributed computing is defined as a type of computing where multiple computer systems work on a single problem. All the computer systems are linked together and the problem is divided into sub-problems where each part is solved by different computer systems. The goal of distributed computing is to increase the performance and efficiency of the system and ensure fault tolerance. Parallel computing. Parallel computing is defined as a type of computing where multiple computer systems are used simultaneously. Here a problem is broken into sub-problems and then further broken down into instructions. These instructions from each sub-problem are executed concurrently on different processes. The goal of parallel computing is to save time and provide concurrency. Cluster computing. A cluster is a group of independent computers that work together to perform the tasks given. Cluster computing is defined as a type of computing that consists of two or more independent computers, referred to as nodes, that work together to execute tasks as a single machine. The goal of cluster computing is to increase the performance, scalability and simplicity of the system. Grid computing. Grid computing is defined as a type of computing where it constitutes a network of computers that work together to perform tasks that may be difficult for a single machine to handle. All the computers on that network work under the same umbrella and are termed as a virtual supercomputer. The tasks they work on is of either high computing power and consist of large data sets. All communication between the computer systems in grid computing is done on the data grid. The goal of grid computing is to solve more high computational problems in less time and improve productivity. Utility computing. Utility computing is defined as the type of computing where the service provider provides the needed resources and services to the customer and charges them depending on the usage of these resources as per requirement and demand, but not of a fixed rate. Utility computing involves the renting of resources such as hardware, software, etc., depending on the demand and the requirement. The goal of utility computing is to increase the usage of resources and be more cost efficient. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is defined as the type of computing where it is the delivery of on-demand computing services over the internet on a pay-as-you-go basis. It is widely distributed, network-based and used for storage. Their type of cloud